One is it?
Rosella. Rosella.
I thought I saw it.
It's page 4. But it says no paperwork. Why does it say no paperwork now? Do you have
I
it?
couldn't get it done.
Yeah, no, that's why I know, because they gave me the whole,
It says no paperwork on the docket. Weird.
or maybe I just saw it on the docket.
Yeah. Maybe
Okay.
that's why it's just an immigration looking up.
No, I looked at the,
Paperwork?
I saw it, because the immigration, the detainer thing is there.
Nope.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hello. Did you need somebody?
No, I'm, I'm sorry, I was just on your,
Okay,
screen.
no problem.
Okay,
Poor guy.
I thought I saw it, but anyway. All right, Shirley Benedetto.
North Broward. North Broward.
All right, ma'am, you are before the court this afternoon for charge one is DUI, alcohol or drugs. Number two, ma'am, don't,
Oh, I'm sorry.
ma'am.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Everything you say in this courtroom is being recorded, and so, I am going to let you know that, don't say anything about your case unless you still want to talk about your case. And second, that I've got to finish telling you what you're here for, and then we'll go from there, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So first, it's DUI, alcohol or drugs. Number two is DUI with damage to property or person of another. Number three is careless driving, and then number four is violating the restrictions placed on your driver's license. And I find probable cause for those charges, and I'll hear from anyone in regards to bond.
Judge, I had an opportunity to speak with Ms. Benedito this afternoon. If the bonds are kept at what they are here on the court's docket, she indicated her family's in the process of bonding her out now.
All right? So the standard bonds will remain in place, okay?
Thank you.
All right, Nerlene Augustine Burton.
That's North Broward, Your Honor. She refused.
All right. All right, so we'll reset Ms. Burton for tomorrow, okay? Carrie Vandergriff,
North Broward again, Your Honor.
okay? All right, Mr. Vandergriff, you're before the court for loitering or prowling, and I find probable cause. And, does Mr. Vandergriff have prior criminal history?
I'll have to check.
Was there something did Mr. Vandergriff want to resolve his case? He said what? Oh, okay.
I'm pulling right now.
I-
Got a warrant out of, it's like Washington State from June 5th of this year on a drug offense. Getting hits out of Louisiana, Washington, Texas. Showing a Jacksonville address here, but if he wants to resolve it, offers adjudication, time served.
Okay.
Judge, at this time, Mr. Vandergrift, the state has offered you time served on this, in this matter. However, there's also been information that you have pending cases in different states, which by admission to this crime could cause the basis to violate your probation in other states. It would be my advice at this time not to resolve this matter,
I'd like to resolve it at this time.
okay? It's against the advice of the public defender.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Vandergriff, you've heard everything, and it is your decision to resolve the case today, is that correct?
Sir,
All right, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
yes,
Okay, you can put your hand down. And is anyone forcing you to resolve your case?
no,
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
no,
Do you need any more time to speak with your attorney?
no,
And do you understand, sir, that you have the right to go to trial, but by taking a plea today, you are giving up that right?
yes,
And have you ever been treated for mental or emotional illness?
yes,
Is there anything about that today that would affect your decision-making?
no,
And you understand, sir, that if you are not a U.S. citizen, that by taking a plea today, it could subject you to deportation or immigration changes?
yes.
What plea do you wish to enter, sir?
Uh,
Guilty or no contest?
No contest.
All right, I accept your no contest plea. I find that it's freely and voluntarily given. Your sentence serves adjudication and time served. All right, Tyler Barnes.
Judge, I've been informed Mr. Barnes bonded.
Mr.
And
Barnes.
Judge, may I ask a question?
Yes,
On the second look docket, there's somebody on the docket that's here at Maine, and Dea Jameson. It's a misdemeanor offense, but when we looked in the system, she bonded on that
The
charge.
reason,
So we wanted to know, did you still want her to be brought or not brought?
the reason she got set, Your Honor,
which one is it?
Jameson,
Do
on the
do I
misdemeanor
have the docket
Yeah.
for the, Madam Clerk, do I have those hearing documents? Thank you. So on the misdemeanor one, what's the name? Andrea Jameson?
Yes.
Okay, so what
This
now?
is not what's holding her. She had a separate felony matter that it looks like Judge Garcia would the other day, ordered a pretrial to GPS monitor.
Okay,
So they're gonna have to go through that process. There's really nothing she posted bond on the misdemeanor.
on this, that's on the, before the
Yes,
court.
and there's really nothing else to do because it looks like there's ongoing competency issues in the felony case, so obviously she couldn't take a plea
All right.
if she
Well-
wanted to.
Well, I guess the main thing is she's posted a bond on this case that's on the docket today, so no, we don't need to bring her. Okay?
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Xavier Beckton,
Paul Ryan.
Paul Ryan, Your Honor, he's
thank you.
Your Honor, I spoke to, Mr. Beckton is being represented by Alex Ariaza.
Okay,
I spoke to him this afternoon. He's asked if the court could reset this for Friday morning, that's when he'll be available. It's really no prejudice to Mr. Beckton because he's being held no bond on another matter.
all right, sir, did you hear that? Your attorneys asked that your first appearance on these two charges be reset to Friday.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we'll see you on Friday morning then. Okay?
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
All right. Stephen Sykes,
Conti?
Yes, ma'am.
all right, Mr. Sykes, you are before the court on an ad charge. This is now this charge is, again, is for a grand theft. And
Yes, ma'am.
I find probable cause, and, I guess Mr. Sykes
He's had numerous no bond holds.
bonds.
No bond holds.
Okay, so I will leave this bond in place. It's a standard bond of $1,000. Was there something you wanted to say, sir?
Yes, ma'am. When I got arrested, I was charged with 3 charges, and then when I went in front of Judge Bailey, they had this grand theft on there. It's for the same. It's Coconut Creek with my other 3 charges. So I'm wondering if that charge, because then I had another grand theft came up, but this grand theft, I don't know what's the ad charge.
This one is June 14th of this year. The location is Target on Federal Highway in Deerfield Beach. Okay? And anything further you need to discuss with your attorneys,
Okay,
okay?
can I get this transferred to Veterans Court?
Anything further you need to discuss with your attorney, okay? I can't transfer it to Veterans Court from here.
I think his,
Does he have other cases in
his other
Veterans Court?
cases are, and if that is the case,
Is-
this will automatically, Mr. Sykes, this will
Right,
automatically.
so it's
go.
gonna, so if all your other charges are already in Veterans Court, this one is going to be there as well,
All right, thank you.
okay?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. Benjamin Greenstein,
Conti?
thank you.
Judge, I had a moment to speak with him briefly. He wants to proceed pro se.
Okay, all right, Mr. Greenstein, you are entitled to counsel at this, stage of the proceedings. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And it is your intention to hire private counsel, is that correct?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so you want to speak to the attorney from the Public Defender's Office?
I would like to proceed pro se.
Oh,
and
okay.
If, with all due respect, if I can request my probable cause affidavit?
No, you can proceed pro se. You're not gonna get the probable cause affidavit today, but,
Yes, ma'am.
I'll
Yes,
let
ma'am.
you know that, you're before the court today for additional charges. This is 7, 8, and 9. Number 7 is burglary, unoccupied structure, unarmed. Number 8 is grand theft auto. And number 9 is fraud, uttering a false instrument. And I find probable cause for these charges. And I'm inclined to just leave the bonds that are in place at this time, the standard bonds. We need to set a bond on 7. How much bond does he already have on the other charges?
Your Honor, he's got on local, he's got a no bond, he's got $35,000 in bonds. He's got no bond out of county holds. I'm fine with the $1,000 bond.
All right, so I'll impose a $1,000 bond on 7, so you, okay. All right, good luck, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Patrick Kiesel,
Medical reset, Judge?
2017
Okay.
case.
and then Samuel Henry Lee.
He's approaching, Judge, here to me.
All right, Mr. Lee, you are before the court today for one charge of petty theft. It is a felony petty theft, so it's a third-degree felony. And number 2 is possession of drug paraphernalia. I find probable cause for those charges.
Judge, Mr. Lee is requesting that the court would consider releasing him on pretrial release. Right now, he's unemployed, but he advised me he is looking for work. He's been here majority of his life. He lives with his mother. And right now, from what he advised, it's going to probably be hard on his mother to post his monetary bond, so that's why he's just asking to be released under supervision.
One moment, Judge.
All right. Based on
Sure.
this, I know he has prior thefts.
Could you check, I see he was given pretrial on a theft case from last year. I'm just curious if he was compliant. There was no issues with him appearing.
Unsuccessful with a pretrial went this year?
In light of that, Your Honor,
Do you know, was that because he picked up a new charge, or was it because he wasn't reporting?
was he reporting though?
Did tell me he was,
hasn't been arrested this year, Judge.
Yeah, well,
It'd be
then,
better if he just didn't go there because I'm trying to. Was he was
well, it wasn't
appearing?
true, that's not true.
Yeah, he was supposed to come into the office and he didn't show up.
Okay,
That's, and I think Your Honor knows where I was going. Frankly, the new arrest I wasn't that concerned with. I care more about that he was actually showing up when he was supposed to, calling in when he was supposed to.
He was supposed to show up on January 30th, but he doesn't show. That was before, on February 1st. Then, February 11th, he was arrested for driving on a suspended license.
all right, Mr. Lee, I am going to leave your bond at $750 at this time, okay? Stephen Ramu,
Come on up, sir.
all right, Mr. Ramu is, before the court for one charge of pointing a laser light at a driver or pilot, and I find probable cause.
Your Honor, I see no criminal history. I'm gonna be asking for the bond to be kept in place and pretrial supervision. Your Honor, I can tell you this bond amount was never, when the bond schedule was set, it wasn't contemplated for this charge. I don't believe this charge even existed when the bond schedule was originally created, and what they did was they set for any charges that weren't contemplated, for a third degree, $1,000 bond, for a second degree, $3,500 bond, so on and so forth. So that's why it has a $1,000 bond. I mean, I do have concerns. I mean, fortunately, nothing bad happened here with the helicopter, but I mean, there's a reason why people shouldn't be pointing laser pointers at
It's another, one of those situations where like, if it's gonna go bad, it went bad. Cause, it was being pointed at a BSO aviation helicopter that, recorded the whole thing from the helicopter. So it's one of those things that's gonna go bad, it just went all the way bad. I am going to leave the $1,000 bond in place, and no other conditions, okay? All right, Chase Schisler,
He's approaching, Judge. He's here, man. Come on up, sir.
all right, Mr. Schisler, you're before the court for two charges of burglary, unoccupied conveyance unarmed. And I find probable cause.
do you have anything?
Does Mr. Schisler have any criminal history?
We're looking into that right now, Judge.
Judge, while Mr. Lender looks, Mr. Schisler did advise me he has a clean record. He's 18 years old, been here his whole entire life. He's working at Publix where he's been employed for 1.5 years. Right now, he just enrolled at Park Lake High School, which he advised in Lauderhill. What he's trying to do is make up some credits so then he can be on track to hopefully graduate this upcoming June. Now, he lives with his mother in Sunrise locally. My understanding, Judge, his mother does work. She's a nail technician. Mom basically is a single mother raising Mr. Schisler and his sister. Considering he has no prior record, Judge, first I would be requesting ROR, but if the court's not inclined for straight ROR, we'd be asking for a $1,000 bond on each third degree felony.
Honestly, Your Honor, he has no history. Frankly, my thoughts were a pretrial with a curfew.
It seems like there were other people with him at the time. Oh, no, well, the photos show 4 people.
Hear that these burglaries were being done in the middle of the night. What's that? Oh, yeah.
All right, so he's working at Publix, and what time does he go to work?
What time's your work hours?
I work today at 4 to 8. Tomorrow I work like 5 to 12, I think.
And then he's about to enroll in school, or he's already enrolled in school?
I'm already enrolled
From my understanding, I believe it was supposed to start
today.
today.
And what are the hours what hours do you go to school?
I think it's at 7:15 to like 11:45.
All right. Your work schedule is that one where they tell you every week or every day they tell you what time you're working, the hours that you're working?
Every week, every Thursday.
All right, I'm gonna impose $1,000 bond on each, account. Okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Corey
I'll
Lee,
call him up. Mr. Lee, come on up, please. He's here, Judge, at Maine.
all right, Mr. Lee, you're before the court. Charge one is possession of cocaine. Number two, operating without a valid driver's license. And number three is, violating driver's license restrictions. And I find probable cause.
Judge, Mr. Lee is asking to be released on pretrial release. Before I proceed, I'll see if the state has an objection.
I do not.
All right, so Mr. Lee, you'll be ROR to pretrial supervision. Mr. Romero is handing you the information for the pretrial office. You need to report by tomorrow morning. Failure to report, a warrant will be issued for your arrest. And also, sir, you will be subjected to random drug testing. Okay? All right, Trayvon Williams.
Mr. Williams, come on up, please.
All right. I'm sure Mr. Williams took a plea before me yesterday or the day before. So.
He was given a time served on a resisting without violence and a trespass, Judge.
Right, so Mr. Williams is before me in 24 hours on a possession of cocaine charge. I find probable cause.
Judge, Mr. Williams can't afford the bond. He's asking to be released on pretrial release.
All right, I am going to deny that and leave the bond at $1,000. Okay. I'm sorry. Anthony Hope.
He's coming up, Judge. He's here at Maine. Come on up, sir.
What's that?
All right, Mr. Hope is before the court today. Charge one is possession of cocaine, and number two is possession of drug paraphernalia, and I find probable cause.
Judge, in speaking with Mr. Hope, nothing to request. He gave me the name of two individuals that will be posting his bond. I'm going to call them after court.
Okay, then the bond will remain. And Yoanco Valdez,
We're waiting on a Spanish interpreter, Judge.
okay.
Toma asiento.
Reynard James,
Mr. James is here at Maine, Judge. Come on up, Mr. James.
all right, Mr. James is before the court. Charge one is battery on an officer or firefighter. Number two is possession with intent to sell, manufacture, or deliver oxycodone. Number three, possession with intent to sell, manufacture, or deliver alprazolam. Number four, possession of cocaine. Number five, a felony violation of probation, and that has a no bond hold. And, I find probable cause. We need to set a bond on one.
Judge, I'm gonna be asking on count one, a third-degree felony, $1,000 bond, considering he has a no bond hold on count 5 anyway.
Your
Okay.
Honor, I was gonna be requesting a $5,000 bond considering the charge he's on probation for is a punishable by life offense, armed trafficking of fentanyl.
Okay. I'll do the $1,000 on one, okay? And he has court tomorrow before his felony division judge. And Clement Plummer,
I've been advised he bonded, Judge.
Mr. Plummer bonded. And then, on the misdemeanor hearing docket, Simone Vincent.
North Broward, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Hello, good morning, how are you today?
I am well, ma'am. Miss Vincent is before the court today. And for a second look at your bond status, Miss Vincent, I believe we started to take a plea, and then she said she didn't understand what was going on, and so we didn't complete the plea. So how much bond does she have? And
Judge, I did have the opportunity to speak with Ms. Vincent this afternoon. If the state is in a position to offer her, to make an offer, she'd be willing to accept it at this time.
an offer, it's a municipal ordinance matter, and the offer was made for adjudication and time served, and like I said, I tried to explain as much as I could, that she said she didn't understand, and then while we were going through it, she said she didn't want to do the plea, so what do you want to do today?
I would like to go through it.
All right? All right, then please raise your right hand.
Alright,
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. And do you understand everything that we've discussed here today?
Yes, ma'am.
Is anyone forcing you to resolve your case?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
Yes, ma'am.
You've been taking drugs since you've been in custody?
No, not in here, but outside, like alcohol for Christmas.
So you see, this is what I mean, that you need to listen, because you're not listening.
Alright,
So today, as you and I are speaking, today, what's today's date? August 21st, 2019, at whatever time it is now, at 1:35. Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
no.
Okay? And you understand you have the right to go to trial, but by taking a plea today, you are giving up that right.
Yes.
And have you ever been treated for mental or emotional illness?
Yes, ma'am.
And is there anything about that illness today that would prevent you from making an intelligent decision?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Vincent does not understand what's going on, so.
I said yes.
No.
My emotional
well,
will block me from today.
Right, so if your emotional
Right.
block you today, you can't take a plea today. All
Right,
right? Okay, so let's leave the bond in place, and you need to have further conversation with your attorneys, okay? All right, Luis Flores,
Conti, Your Honor, we need the Spanish interpreter also.
okay, thank you. Yeah, and then we deleted Andia Jameson, and then Tiffany Clark.
North Broward, Your Honor. Come on in, Clark.
And then Ms. Clark was arrested on August 15th. So this
She
is a
was- she
second
was-
look.
She was being held on a felony theft. She was county sentenced on a VOP. Her expected release date is September 7th. If she wishes to resolve this case, the offer is adjudication time served.
Okay,
Judge, I did have the opportunity to speak with her this afternoon. She is willing to accept that offer.
all right, Ms. Clark, please raise your right hand.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, ma'am, you can put your hand down. And then, Ms. Clark, do you understand everything we've discussed here today?
Yes, ma'am.
Is anyone forcing you to resolve your case?
No, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
No, Your Honor.
And do you need any more time to speak with your attorney?
No, ma'am.
You understand you have the right to go to trial, but by taking a plea today, you are giving up that right.
Yes, Your Honor.
And have you ever been treated for mental or emotional illness?
No, Your Honor.
And do you understand, ma'am, that if you are not a U.S. citizen, that by taking a plea today, it could subject you to deportation or immigration changes?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
I understand.
What plea do you wish to enter, ma'am? Guilty or no contest?
No contest.
All right, I accept it. Uh-huh.
No contest, ma'am.
All right, I accept your no contest plea. I find that it's freely and voluntarily given. Your sentence is adjudication and time served. Good luck, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a nice one.
You too.
I can't think straight. It's everything is already before. What am I supposed to do?
All right, and then while we're waiting on the Spanish interpreter on the felony docket, we have DeMarcus Matthews.
Your Honor, he's already been released. Actually, he wasn't even supposed to be here. This was,
Oh, that's right.
you gave the 40 days.
Okay. I think I saw that.
Yeah, we know info, so he's been released yesterday.
All right, Leran Robinson. Who's talking? No. Oh. Okay. Leran Robinson. Mr. Robinson was arrested July 20th, this says.
Information was filed today, Your Honor. The 2 counts of aggravated battery were filed as charged. The state ad charged 1 count of aggravated assault, and we filed the battery, but it's showing a COC, so I don't know if that's gonna come through again.
All right,
The ag
so,
assault will anyways.
okay, so Mr. Robinson, the charges have been filed. And so at this time, I am going to deny the motion for ROR, okay? All right, Tyrus Nix. Hicks.
Facility. Good afternoon.
We have not filed an information, Your Honor. Mr. Hicks is entitled to an ROR in this count at this time.
All right, so Mr. Hicks, the state has not formally filed the charges, so you are entitled to be released, and I will sign that order at this time. It does not mean that the state cannot file the charges after this, so you need to make sure you check with the mail or with your attorney if you have one to see if you have to come back to court, okay?
Okay.
All right,
Thank
good
you,
luck,
ma'am.
sir. Yes. And Alfred Bogan.
North Broward, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Bogan was arrested on August 17th. So this is a second look, it's a felony petty theft.
I talked to the attorney, he said he'll try to get my R&R.
Your Honor, Your Honor, he kept the bond in place. Mr. Bogan has a lengthy history. His most recent arrest, he was picked up on violation of pretrial warrant on 2 separate felonies. I would also.
I know he's been on pretrial. I just picked up on the pit.
The basis for the violation is that he never showed up to pretrial.
Yeah, that's why he said he's never been on pretrial. He
And
never showed up.
The court should be aware that case was under the name Ivory Davis,
Okay,
and he's used numerous aliases in the past.
all right. So, Mr. Bogan, I am not going to, yes, Mr.
Yes, Judge, in speaking with Mr. Bogan, he was asking the court if the court would consider ROR only. Unfortunately, pretrial would not work at this time due to a lack of an address. He's not sure whether he can live with his brother or not without making a call.
Yeah.
So, pretrial would not work. He's asking for ROR.
I'm gonna deny that. And so the bonds will remain in place, okay? Jordan Urbina,
North Broward again, Your Honor.
okay?
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir. Mr. Urbina,
If you got to him, like, help him cover you.
Mr. Urbina has a $1,000 bond. This is a felony, charge. What else is going on?
I'm checking to see if there's any type of history around him. This was a. Looks like this was it was grand theft out of Home Depot.
Are you, Madam Clerk, you're keeping track of the findings?
Here, can I see the back?
What's the name? Yeah, he just got. He just got ROR. He'll be getting out soon.
He'll be released.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry. Shel, correct me if I'm wrong, it looks like there's a lot. Here's a. Your Honor, I'm showing right now an open false name ID out of Dade County, an open trespass out of Dade County. These cases are- 2 counts of unlawful possession of stolen credit card or debit card last year in Dade County.
Well, he has 2 open, cases in date at this
Yeah,
time.
burglary with structure, grand theft auto
All
last
right,
year.
I'm going to deny the ROR, and the bond will remain in place.
Those charges are closed.
As of when?
Those charges are closed.
As of when? When were they closed?
I took pleas for those charges. I did time for those charges already.
When?
He's,
Recent.
I think he's referring to the other case I mentioned that were resolved. I can tell you the false name ID, Your Honor, he posted bond August 16th.
And he just had an arrest July 15th for burglary unauthorized
No, I'm, okay, I'm denying it. The bonds are in place. You have pending matters at this time. All right, so we're waiting for the Spanish interpreter on the other cases.
I just was looking at what it was. I wasn't doing anything.
Sorry. I see it. I don't want them anyways.
This is,
I don't want them anyways.
I'm afraid to now.
Huh? Thanks.
What's the ROR? Yeah, we didn't file information. What's it from my office?
All right, we're, waiting for the Spanish interpreter, so. I believe, Mr. Valdez is at the main jail.
Yes, Judge, he's approaching. Ben, put forward.
And he still hasn't been operational.
All right, Mr. Valdez is before the court for charge one is grand theft auto.
Señor Valdés, usted está acá en la corte hoy. Es el primer cargo, hurto mayor de automóvil.
Number two is driving while license suspended.
El segundo cargo es manejar con la licencia suspendida.
3 and 4 are felony violation of probation with no bond holds.
El 3 y el 4 es una violación de probatoria a nivel felonía sin fianza.
Those, the probation matters are out of Dade County.
Esos asuntos de la probatoria son de fuera del condado de Miami-Dade.
I find probable cause.
Encuentra causa probable para el delito.
And
Judge, considering he has no bond holds, nothing to add from the defense.
I'm sorry, didn't hear you.
Because he's on probation, nothing to add from the defense.
Como está usted bajo probatoria, la defensa no puede añadir nada.
and so I will leave the bonds in place at this time.
Voy a dejar las fianzas puestas en este momento.
Okay, and then Luis Flores.
Conti.
All right, Mr. Flores was arrested, it looks like August 2nd and then August 8th?
August 2nd and 8th.
And yes.
Señor Flores, a usted lo arrestaron agosto 2 y luego el 8 de agosto.
Sí.
Yes.
That's what my docket shows.
Eso es lo que tiene la señora jueza en su calendario.
June 2nd.
Oh, it's June? And then June 2nd and then August 8th?
Yeah,
Junio 2 y luego agosto 8.
June 2nd reflects the original arrest.
El primer arresto original fue junio 2.
He's now being held on a capias,
Ahora a usted lo están reteniendo por una orden de arresto,
which he was arrested on August 8th.
por la cual lo arrestaron usted agosto 8.
Additionally, Your Honor, Mr. Flores Rodriguez has an immigration hold.
En este momento usted también tiene una retención de migración, señor Flores Rodríguez.
And I checked Odyssey, and,
Yeah. Sorry.
No, please.
No, no importa.
I checked Odyssey, and Mr. Flores Rodriguez has appeared, according to that, has appeared before Judge Diaz several times.
Señor Flores, han checado en la computadora y a usted ha estado delante del juez, I'm sorry, judge, enfrente del juez Díaz varias veces.
Sí.
Yes.
He's actually scheduled to see Judge Diaz again, actually, on the 26th.
Y de hecho usted tiene una cita para ir a ver al juez Díaz el día 26.
So I would just ask that the matter proceed before Judge Diaz.
Entonces, ¿qué va a proceder ese asunto de frente del señor Díaz?
Okay.
All right, so at this time I will take no action. I'll deny the ROR.
Mire, en este momento no voy a tener tomar ninguna acción y you are going to deny the ROR, Your Honor?
Yeah, yes.
La jueza le va a negar la libertad bajo palabra.
Okay,
Okay.
all right. I believe that's it.
All right.
Thank you very much. See you, and thanks to everyone else in the courtroom. Thank you.